My beloved brothers and sisters, sometimes we go through things that shake us to our very core, and the first thought we have is Allah punishing me? But let me tell you something beautiful. What you call pain may have been the very mercy that was protecting you from something you couldn't see coming. Allah doesn't break your heart to harm you. He breaks it to rebuild what you were about to destroy yourself. Sometimes the pain is the answer to a dua you forgot you made. You were just trying to do your best. You were praying. You were holding on. You were trying to trust Allah. And in the quiet moments, you asked Him for help. Maybe you didn't even realize how powerful your prayer was. You said things like, Ya Allah, fix my heart. Protect me from what's not good for me. Give me what's right for me, even if I don't know what that is. Or maybe you didn't say anything at all. Maybe it was just a tear that rolled down your cheek and the feeling deep inside that said, Ya Allah, I'm tired, please change something. And then everything started to fall apart. The people you thought would always be there started distancing themselves. That one person you loved so much, they left. You lost the opportunity you thought was your big break. Your plans stopped working. Your days felt heavy. And your heart began to ache in a way you couldn't explain. So you cried again. This time not in dua but in confusion. Ya Allah, I was trying. Why did it get worse? Why this pain? Why now? But my dear brother, my dear sister, what if this pain was the answer? What if Allah heard that soft, quiet, sincere whisper from your heart and He immediately began moving your life around? Not to hurt you, but to respond to you more deeply than you've ever been responded to before. You asked Him for guidance, so He guided you away from the wrong people, even if it felt like heartbreak. You asked Him to protect your peace, so He removed the one who kept disturbing it, even if you loved them. You asked Him to bring you closer to Him, so He removed the distractions, even if they looked like dreams at the time. Because Allah doesn't just answer what comes from your mouth, He answers what comes from your heart. And sometimes what you want and what your soul needs are two very different things. You might have thought you were asking for something good, but Allah knew it would hurt you in the long run, so He blocked it. And because you couldn't see what He was protecting you from, it felt like rejection, but it was actually redirection. It was preservation. It was mercy dressed as loss. Think of it like this. If a child reaches out for fire, smiling, the parent pulls them away, right? Even if the child cries, the parent knows, one day you'll thank me. That's exactly what Allah does with us. We run toward things with excitement, thinking, this is what I need. And He gently, lovingly blocks it, even if it breaks our heart in the moment. Because He sees what we can't. He sees the years ahead. He sees the burden we were about to carry. He sees the nights we would have cried ourselves to sleep if He had given us what we asked for. So He says no, but not to punish you, only to protect you from something your eyes can't yet see. And yes, it hurts, because growth always comes with discomfort. Even a seed must split open before it becomes a tree. Even gold must pass through fire before it shines. And sometimes your soul must pass through heartbreak before it can finally taste peace. So if things are being removed from your life, if people are leaving, if everything you were building has collapsed, don't assume it's because Allah is punishing you. Ask yourself, could this be how He's answering me? Because maybe the pain didn't come to destroy your path. Maybe it came to clear it. Maybe it came to wipe away the things that were too heavy for your next season. Maybe it came to remove the voices that were drowning out His. Maybe it came to bring you back to sujood, to the moment where you finally said, only you, Ya Allah. And in that moment, Allah smiled upon you, because the version of you that spoke from that pain was the version He had been waiting for all along. One day, my dear, you look back at the heartbreak, at the loss, at the confusion, and you'll say, Ya Allah, thank you. You didn't give me what I wanted, you gave me what I needed. And that will be the most beautiful realization of your life. If He didn't shake your world, you would have settled for less. You had a plan. You were holding on to a path that made sense to you. A relationship, a dream, a person you trusted, a career you thought would carry you for years. You built your life around it. You gave it your time, your tears, your trust. And you said to yourself, this is it, I'll be okay if this stays. But then the world shook. Suddenly, without warning, what you thought was solid crumbled. The people you relied on started acting differently. The relationship you were pouring into dried up. The future you had in your head vanished. And the pain confused you. You said, Ya Allah, why? Why now? Why this? You kept thinking, wasn't I being sincere? Wasn't I grateful? Wasn't this meant for me? But my beloved, sometimes the reason Allah shakes your world is because you started settling into something far beneath what He created you for. You began adjusting your standards just to keep the wrong people. You began shrinking your dreams to fit a space that wasn't yours. You began dimming your light just so others wouldn't feel insecure around you. And slowly, without even realizing it, you started accepting less than what Allah wrote for you. So He intervened, gently but powerfully. He shook the foundation beneath you, not to break you, but to wake you. Because had He not shaken it, you would have kept pouring your soul into something that had no space for your future. You see, we are creatures of comfort. We cling to the familiar, even when it's hurting us. We say, it's not that bad, and we stay, even when it's draining our energy, even when it's delaying our healing, even when it's pulling us further from Allah. And then one day, it all changes. The friend turns cold, the relationship ends, the job is lost, the door you loved slams shut, and your heart cries out, Ya Allah, how could you take this away from me? But what you don't realize in that moment is that He didn't take something good from you. He took something temporary from you, so He could give you something real. Because you weren't created to live in emotional survival. You weren't meant to constantly chase someone else's approval. You weren't made to fight for the bare minimum and call it love. You weren't born to stay small, just so others wouldn't feel uncomfortable with your growth. So when He saw you beginning to accept it, He shook it. He exposed the cracks. He removed the veil. He let it fall apart. And yes, it hurt. Yes, it felt unfair. Yes, you cried. But He saw something you didn't. That the thing you were holding on to was blocking what He had prepared for you. Because sometimes it's not the pain that ruins us. It's the comfort we stay in before the pain that does. Had He not allowed that heartbreak, you might have married someone who would have dimmed your soul for a lifetime. Had He not taken away that job, you would have stayed trapped in a cycle that slowly killed your purpose. Had He not removed that friend, you would have ignored the whispers in your heart telling you, this person is not sincere. We only see the removal, but Allah sees the repositioning. He's not saying, I don't love you. He's saying, I love you too much to let you waste another day tied to what isn't worthy of you. So when the shaking happens, don't panic. Pause, breathe, and ask, Ya Allah, what are you saving me from? Because He never removes without reason. And He never closes one door unless there's another one that's about to open. And what's behind the next door? Peace that doesn't make you beg for it. Love that doesn't make you question your worth. Success that doesn't drain your soul. And a version of you that isn't exhausted from carrying things that were never yours to hold. So trust the shaking. Yes, it feels like an earthquake now, but one day you'll look back and realize it was the moment everything finally started to fall into place. The storm that scared you was the same storm that cleared the path. And you'll say in sujood, Ya Allah, thank you. If you hadn't shaken me, I would have settled for far less than what you had written for me. When you're being isolated, it's because you're being spoken to. You used to be surrounded by people. There were always messages, plans, calls, and company. Your life felt full even if it was loud. And then suddenly it became silent. The phone stopped ringing. The invitations disappeared. The people you once thought were your closest distanced themselves. And you're sitting there wondering, Ya Allah, what's happening to me? Why am I suddenly alone? You feel isolated. You feel forgotten. You feel like no one understands what's going on inside your heart. And in those moments, the silence becomes louder than any noise you've ever heard. But listen to me, my beloved, this silence isn't a punishment. This isolation is not abandonment. This stillness that surrounds you is actually one of the greatest mercies of Allah. Because sometimes the only way He can get you to hear Him is by removing the world from around you. He takes away the noise. He pulls you out from the crowds. He disconnects you from the people who were distracting you from your own soul. Not because He's cruel, but because He's trying to talk to you directly, personally, lovingly. You see, when everyone leaves, Allah remains. When the world turns its back, He opens His door. When you can't explain what's breaking your heart, He already knows and He's waiting for you to come to Him with it. Some of the most beloved moments in your entire life will be the ones where it was just you and Allah, and the tears that no one else saw. Because that's where the most sincere connection is built. That's where you start speaking from the heart. Not for show, not to impress anyone, but because you're tired and broken and raw. And you realize finally that no one else can carry what you're carrying but Him. This isolation is not random. It's divine. It's sacred. It's chosen for you. Because Allah knows what's coming. He knows you're about to grow. He knows you're about to be purified. And He knows you can